Hello everyone, this is Professor Patterns, and in this video I'm going to be showing you an alternative to VS Code. It's known as Cursor. So up until this point, you've been coding using Cline in VS Code. So here, for example, I can ask Cline to write a JavaScript for a mini Flappy Bird game with basic physics. And you can see that it is going to start creating all of this code. Now, when you compare this to the Cursor interface, you can see that it looks almost exactly the same as VS Code. So here, for example, I can create a new file called this test.py. And then here, simply I can type in print and hello world. And then here I can just type in Python test.py and it simply prints out hello world. What's going to be different in this interface is that you have a lot of autocomplete capabilities, but you also have the same agent-based workflow as you do in VS Code using Klein. So here, if I hit Control I, it's going to pull up this interface that looks very similar to the one from VS Code Klein. So I'm going to ask it to do the exact same thing. It's to write a JavaScript for a mini Flappy Bird game with basic physics. Now here I'm going to select Composer and everything else should be good. And you can see that it will automatically start creating all of this code. And then while it's generating this code, it's also going to start populating the files that are also going to be necessary. Now, if I look over on the VS Code side, we can see that this code did complete, and this is what it looks like. So kind of like another Flappy Bird game, except I'm pretty bad at the game. And we can see that the total cost was about $0.17. And this is what it did. So imagine that I wanted to have it improve. So make it a little easier and the interface better looking. So let's see if it can do this. In the meantime, let's also compare the interface from what Cursor created. So this is the Cursor interface. So it looks very, very similar to the one from Klein, except here is what, again, it looks like we're going to ask it to do the exact same thing as well. So let's open up Cursor, and we can see that these are the two files that it did create. I'm simply going to give the exact same prompt again, so make it a little bit easier, the interface better looking. So let's see the result from both. So I'm going to start by first looking at the one from VS Code Klein. So it's counting something. And nope, it's still not great, but at least the interface does look a little bit better. However, if I take a look here, the API cost has already added up to almost 30 cents. And this is just from some basic usage, right? We haven't worked on this more, although there is almost about 160 lines of code that we've written here. Now let's compare this to Cursor. Now again, on Cursor side, it completed writing all of this code. And if you take a look on index.html to see what it looks like, let's go ahead and refresh this page. So the page does look better. That physics, I think, is a little bit easier compared to what it was before. And we can see that they did also add in some more aesthetic components. But here is the main difference. On VS Code, this cost us 30 cents. And we still want to work on the improvement, right? This is not the final product by any means. This was free. It's only free because in the pricing, I have the 2 weeks free trial, and it comes with a certain amount of requests. However, on the pro version for Cursor, it costs about $16 per month, and I have unlimited completions, and I also have some fast premium requests per month. And what they call premium models are GPT-4, Claude 3.5 Sonnet, and GPT-4o. So, and also I have unlimited slow premium requests. So the idea here is that if you're going to be doing development like this, where there's a lot of code that's going to be involved, then you might not want to use something like APIs from Klein. The alternate option, which is through Cursor, might be the better option. Now, if you wanted to use something that's really quick, you don't need to pay this monthly subscription, then in that case, you're better off using something like Klein, and it's going to charge you per sort of API usage, but that's fine. As long as it's not a huge code base, I don't think that this is going to rack up huge costs. So that is basically going to be the trade-off between using Klein versus Cursor. So hopefully this gave you an understanding about those main differences. That's it for this video. If you find it insightful, then please leave a comment. If you are new to the channel, then please like and subscribe. And thank you all for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.